What's going on, YouTube modeling community? Pappy here at West Georgia Rods and Customs. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the USACC group bill, better known as the Unified Scale Out of Content Creators of YouTube's group bill. Each year, someone is chosen to pick a kit, and all of us worldwide build it. And our friend, Mr. Kim Soda Pop, he picked this particular kit this year. This is the Revell 68 Dodge Dart. Awesome kit that Kim has picked, and I also want to throw a big thank you out to our host, our buddies over there at the Lucas E channel, Mr. Lucas E himself. Big thank you to him, as well as Mr. Mark Batson over there at Hobby Dude 007. They were the creators of this particular group build, and each year I really look forward to joining in on this group build. When it comes up each year, I really do like doing different takes on different kits and things like that. So a lot of the idea for the build that I'm doing right here came from a photo that LC, Mr. Lucas C, shot to me one day right when once it was announced, and he's like, "Pappy, I would not be surprised if you did this one right here." And it was, of course, it was, yes, a Pro Street. Yes, it was red, and he was halfway right in guessing that how I was going to build this. So he hit the nail on the head with the Pro Street, and I decided to do a tutorial series on how I do the Pro Streets using different parts, techniques, and things like that. So along this journey, everyone's been walking down this pathway with me. We've been utilizing the 68 Dodge Dart kit, and we have been using a lot of the products that is available on MCV Products. Bring your models to life at mcvproducts.net. Go over there. You can pick up the back half that I'm using in this particular build to build your own Pro Street. Other pieces that I am using is some of my own castings as far as the blower here. And I want to show y'all the progress that I've made right now, and what we've done so far. And we're going to kind of dissect, and we'll take this thing apart. But kind of wanted to show everybody. I know when you're doing kit bashing like this, you get kind of anxious and seeing what the final product's going to look like. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take some of the parts and stuff that we're utilizing in this particular build. We're going to bring them out here. We're going to kind of do a quick mock-up on this thing right quick, and we're going to show y'all the progress that we've got done so far. What we've got, we've went ahead and we have got a lot of the interior kind of subbed up, mocked up. There's something that I'm not really happy with, and I'll show y'all once I dissect this. But let's take the car and let's put these in these tires that right here. These are the Pro Street Mickey Thompsons. Are these Mickey Thompsons? Yeah. These are a set of the Mickey Thompson Pro Streets that MCV Products sells on the website. And just great. I can't wait to get these things painted as far as the tires and the wheels themselves. These are the matching fronts for these particular wheels right here. So I used the kit tires. They fit very nicely on these particular wheels. So we're going to mock this thing up just a little bit to kind of show y'all what progress we've got. And I've already got, let me flip this over. This is everything as far as what we've even got the motor in here. Everything fits nicely in there. The only thing that we're going to have to do is shorten these axles right here to accommodate, how, I make them longer than needed, but we've got the positioning where we want them. Once they, as far as I showed y'all earlier, how I like to raise that axle up to get that tire up into the fender well more. So we'll start dissecting everything. But here's what I want to do first. I do want to take that K member out because it's going to be in the way. But see how easy. In the earlier videos, I showed y'all how to cut this particular axle off here, raise it up to right here, and using the evergreen styrene products. We're going to set that over here out of the way. The other thing I've also showed y'all, and I kind of wanted to do some discussion on, is about the hood. Lucasia reached out to me this weekend after my last post, and there's some of the topics that I wanted to talk about was it concerns the hood. But right there's where we're at right now with the fender, getting the tires on this thing. That's about the positioning that they're going to. Let me kind of get that up right there. That's going to be kind of the final product with the positioning of how low everything's going to be. So it's going to have that big low and mean stance to it. All right. Enough of that eye candy. Let's talk about some of the things. Starting to get a cluttered bench right here. In the last videos, we were doing the interior, and that's what I kind of wanted to talk about. I had to, I always save, anytime if I modify anything, I always save it. This is the rear package tray that was originally with the kit. I took some 020 sheet styrene, made a different package tray that's a little bit longer. I don't like that. Why? Right there's why. You see how it came past the B-pillar itself, and I don't like that. So I'm going to, we're going to modify that later on, and I'll show y'all what I did. Just once I start dissecting this thing, taking it apart, you'll see what I'm talking about. But let me grab a set of tweezers right here. Let's pull this. Let's pull the hood off. I've already got a blower trying to give me grief right here because it's not. Everything is glued up in the white glue. That way when I can actually pull it apart once get ready for final assembly or paint and final assembly. Okay, we were talking earlier. LC wanted me to possibly, if I could, go into a little bit more discussion about why. And if you remember the topic that I was talking about earlier in the build was once we got the opening, the raw opening for the blower to stick up out of, I talked about taking and beveling, and we're going to turn it over, talking about beveling this edge right here. And when I say beveling, it's let me get my sanding stick right here. I use these 100 grit to get that bevel in place. And what I'm talking about, if you take and turn a sheet of styrene over, you're going to see that raw edge right there. And by beveling the inside of, say, because if you cut that, you got that raw edge right here. In scale, that hood's going to be about that thick. It'd be about 1 inch thick, possibly, maybe thicker than that. So what I like to do is take my 100 grit and just kind of sand it down really, at an angle to that. It gives you a more scale perception about the edge right here. If you set the hood off, or if you're looking at it from the edge, you don't see that real thick styrene right there. So beveling that gives the illusion that hood is actually the thickness it should be in metal. So taking and doing all of these edges just like that, and getting a good bevel on that particular, on all of this, all down through there. It's just like that. And that's how I get that. And just keep looking at your progress. You're not making it any wider this way per se. You're actually just creating that illusion, is like what I say. You're not looking in there and seeing a real thick piece of styrene. So that's another thing that I told. It was a question that arose. LC brought the question up if I'd get into more detail about that, and I told him I'd be glad to. The other thing that, as far as beveling, and I know LC does it a lot on his builds, is this area right in here, especially on fender welds. Fender welds, you can, if you look at it in that, it's kind of hard to see because that's white. But if I leave it at that area right there, you see how thick that is right there. I mean, that looks so thick and it's so out of scale. So you can achieve the bevel by taking it out with that. Even taking your hobby knife and scraping that edge all the way down through there to give it kind of an angular illusion to the thickness of that fender well. So it really brings your model to life. Looks more in scale and more authentic. So let's pull let me pull this big Hemi engine out of here. And see if I can get that thing out of there without pulling headers and stuff like that off. I'm just going to have to take everything apart right here. No harm, no foul. All right, we'll pull that out. And as we start to dissect this body, I'm going to set everything over here to the side. This is where we're at with the interior tray. And here's what I was talking about. This, if you can tell, if you see how thick and not thick, but if you'll see where this is where I put the original. If you're looking down into the body this way, this is what this mark is right here. That is where that window, the back window, is lines up at. So we take. Let me pull the engine out right here. Set that to the side. If you see where I'm at right there, you see where it stops right there? That's where I had, and this was the difference in width. See how much I had to add, but it brought it past, it actually came past the B pillar. It don't look right. So this piece right here, it's just, I say it's wasted effort, but we're going to take that piece completely out of this build. It will not get used. I just don't like that. It don't look right. It's not correct. You wouldn't see that in a great looking Pro Street build, and you're definitely not going to see it in one of mine. So we'll take that. But that's what I made. Took a couple hours to do that, but that's okay. We'll set that over to the side. Might use that in something else later on, but it was not going to be this build. So I will be using, more than likely, what I'm going to do, and what the reason I was having some problems with that was once I got my interior tub where I wanted it, and it's going to perplex a little problem coming down. I've already cut my door cards, and see how much I had cut them back right there for the angular right here for this angular piece. I'm gonna do justice. I'm gonna cut right at the door line where the door separation, and I'm gonna make an interior card it won't have it won't have everything in here, but I'll make it look correct. Maybe might do make it look like sheet metal and stuff like that. But I'm gonna make that cut right down through there where the door separation's at, and I'll make just a B pillar card that comes over, and it'll be stationary. Now, what will I do right in here to clean all that up? I might take some sheet styrene and come in here and do a little roll pan, maybe roll that up into here with some 0.10 styrene, something, and glue that in there. That way it looks more finished. Then we come in, we make a couple of different door cards for the back seat area, and then we're going to reuse. And what I'm thinking about doing is I got to make some measurements. This will go right where it's supposed to with the for the package tray, but I will more than likely take take some measurements of this area right in here, the opening between the fender wells. Transfer that to this piece right here, then we'll cut it, and it will just lay right. It'll go right in between these two fender wells right here. Then you'll have that rolled package tray. Then we'll create the two door cards for the passenger or for the back seat area. So no harm, no foul, nothing really detrimental to the build, but just goes to show you that if when you're kit bashing, expect differences, things to not really, come out and, like you're wanting it to. If you want it, sometimes trial and error is something that you've got to expect when you're doing kit bashing like this. But as we break everything down, I talked earlier about doing as far as what I had to do as far as build up back in here, and that really turned out really well. We've got all the interior door cards glued to they're glued up with canopy glue. Got that. That's the choice right there I'm going to have with the seats. And we're going to work on this in the next coming days with using this package tray and getting everything to play nicely with what I've got right there. So anyhow, if y'all have got any questions along the way, feel free. Just kind of want to give y'all a rundown of what's going on with this and get this video dropped out to everyone. I really appreciate everybody's response to this tutorial series with the USACC group build as far as following along and hoping that all these tips and techniques that I'm sharing along the way is useful to everyone. Really do appreciate it. If y'all want to inquire about getting you some of these great Pro Street tires and wheels and the back half that I'm using right here, go over to mcvproducts.net and bring your models to life. Get you some of those big engines and some of those different wheel tubs and different tires and wheels and all that Matthew has over at MCV Products. If you're sitting at the bench and you ain't got nothing better to do besides build, listen to these guys right here, the Scale Model Car podcast. Awesome group of guys. They're talking about the last podcast was talking about Acme and just different topics all together concerning the model car hobby. Anyhow, appreciate everybody subscribing to this guy right here over at West Georgia Rods and Customs. As he always says, if you can dream it, build it. God bless y'all. Happy out of here.